I can't believe they went there. Just roll the footage. My Unpopular Gaming Opinion. The 80s and 90s were great times to be a kid. Join me as I dive into the world of movies, music, video games and toys, and explore what made these decades so great. This is the Big Retro Show. Hey, what's up you guys? This is Los from the Big Retro Show, and this is my unpopular gaming opinion. Now, you might think that you don't have an unpopular gaming opinion, but chances are, if you're a gamer like we are, you most likely do. And for this episode of my unpopular gaming opinion, I have enlisted the help of two of my favorite YouTubers out there. That's right, I got Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid, who are going to be featured in this episode of my unpopular gaming opinion, talking to you about a beloved Nintendo franchise and a not so beloved Nintendo console. So with that, I'm going to give it over to Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid. Take it away, boys.
Thanks a ton for having us, Big Retro Show. We greatly appreciate it. Unpopular gaming opinions. These are things we talk about a lot of times behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Behind the curtains. We don't like drumming up a ton of controversy, but you know what? You asked us to let it all hang out, so zip! Here you go.
Time to piss some people off.
Yes, let's go for it. Unpopular gaming opinion for me. I have mentioned it on the channel before, but that doesn't mean that everybody's heard it or seen it. I am not a big fan of Mario 64. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I've tried. I truly feel like I know where it happened in the scope of gaming, but as I look back in the rearview mirror, if I had to line up Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, and Super Mario World and Mario 64, I would never play Mario 64. It would be fifth in line of the game that I would play of those games. Now you may be thinking like, oh, you're just into old school side-scrolling platformers and you just don't get it. No, I actually do get it. Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 are some of my favorite Mario games ever made. Big fan of Super Mario 3D World on the Nintendo Wii U. I love Mario Odyssey. Mario 64, it's barren. The levels, they're just so bland. The controls, they're just not as precise as I want them to be for a Mario game. I understand that it moved the needle. I understand where it happened in gaming history. I get all of that. I've played the game, I've beat the game. I've been forced, pushed, poked, prodded in every which way but loose. Still not a big fan. I'm not saying it's a horrible game, but when I fire up the N64, that's definitely not one of the games that comes to mind that I'm going to throw in. So, there's my unpopular gaming opinion.
That hurts my heart. That was the first Mario game I ever played.
Sorry, not sorry.
Ouch. My gaming opinion that's unpopular is the Nintendo Wii. A lot of people hate the Nintendo Wii, but I freaking love it. The Nintendo Wii can do so much. The versatility of it is incredible. First off, you can play GameCube games on it. If you get the first generation, there's GameCube ports, which is awesome. I love the GameCube controller. That's awesome. It's backwards compatible. Next, it's hackable. Now, I'm not going to say that we have a hacked Wii or not because that's frowned upon, but I just want to say that it is possible to hack it, and it's easy. So I've heard that you can hack it. You can play all these types of games on it. That's awesome. Then, light gun games. Ever heard of them? We love light gun games. The Wii Motion light gun games are so perfect. A lot of them are cheesy, but we love that. And there's so many great light gun games for the Wii that got missed because people hated the Wii. They thought it was a family console. They were like, oh, this is for kids. This is for families. Hardcore gamers shun the Wii. They're like, this isn't a gaming console. You can do so much on the Wii. It is awesome and I love it, and I don't get the amount of hate that it gets because it does so much and it can still do so much. I know that it's not HD, I know that it, isn't super powerful, but who cares? It can do so much and it's awesome and I love it.
I can't knock that opinion. Our Wii gets played all the time.
Yeah, that's our go-to system.
Yeah, maybe because of the light gun games, but the one thing about the Wii that I think it had a ton of shovelware, which I think maybe pushed some people away. Yes. But the games that are good on the Wii And
are
then
great.
you add in the things you mentioned, the backwards compatibility with the GameCube, the light gun games. The Wii is a freaking hammer.
And plus, there's a lot of games that are on multiple consoles, but play better on the Wii. Resident Evil 4, for example. I feel like that game plays the best on the Wii.
GameCube version, but okay. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, you can play with the GameCube controller, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I love the Wii. People are going to get mad at me. But if you've never played the Wii, or you thought, oh, that console sucks, I'm not going to give it a chance, give it a chance. You can pick them up for super cheap nowadays. The games are cheap. I know there's lots of shovelware, but there's great games on the Wii.
I really appreciate you having us on this segment. Hopefully we didn't ruffle too many tail feathers. And I know I can't cheers you on the first one, so how about cheers to the Nintendo Wii?
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert and Wes, for sharing that unpopular gaming opinion with us. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start with Robert's unpopular gaming position and tell you where I am with that. And so I have to agree with Robert. I think that Robert made a lot of great points. The Wii is definitely one of the most unique consoles out there. It definitely breaks the mold for all of the previous Nintendo consoles in that it doesn't even come with a regular controller. It comes with a Wiimote. And I remember when I first saw that, I remember how trippy that was. And I was thinking to myself, you know, how is this going to work? Can this be done with a Wiimote? The design was a little funky, but I got used to it pretty quickly. The other thing I like about the system is something that Robert said, which is it's hackable. This thing is a hacker's dream. And yes, Robert, I have a hacked Wii that I love, and I have tons of games on it, everything. I have all the retro stuff. Of course, yes, this does get frowned upon in the community, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of you out there are modding your consoles, and why not? I mean, that's half the fun of it. So that's another thing. And so another thing that I really like about the Wii is that when you're out game hunting at these game stores, you often see lots of Wii titles for hella cheap. And I like that. You know, you can pick up games that, yeah, you know, some of them are shovelware, like Wes talked about. Some of them aren't good, but then there are a lot of them out there that are good. And they are so cheap. So you can, you know, go to the thrift store and walk away with like 10 games for under 20 bucks. And you know, sure, they might all be, you know, Wii Fit and all that stuff, but hey, at least you got the games, right? Anyhow, yes, I am right there with you, Robert. I love the Wii. I think that it gets a lot of undeserved hate. And you know, you guys should buy it. There, you know, even the system itself is affordable nowadays. You can probably pick one up for 30 bucks, and they come in these colors. I know I saw one on Facebook Marketplace earlier this week that I wanted to pick up, but I had to stop myself from picking it up. It was a red version of the Wii, and you know, I wanted to get it though because I thought it looked cool. And now I want to talk about Wes's unpopular gaming opinion, and that is regarding the Mario 64. So the Mario 64 holds a special place in a lot of folks' hearts, and to me, I love Mario 64, but not to the point where I would die for it. I think it's a good game, and it was a good game for the time, but you know, the whole reason that I bought an N64, to be quite honest, was to play Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. And Mario 64 was just kind of the game to have back then, so I bought it too. Now, I bought it, I played it, I did not beat it, and I still have not beaten that game, but I think I'm pretty close, so I'm not quite sure about that. But to me, I thought it was, for the time, I thought it really showcased the power of the N64. I remember watching news stories about the latest game, the latest round of games that were, you know, technically advanced during that era, and so all these news reporters were saying that this is the next wave of gaming. The N64 is the hottest console out there because of Super Mario 64, and people were going bananas for this. And so, you know, I'm a fan of Mario 64, but I can certainly appreciate an opinion that is counter to that. After all, this is my unpopular gaming opinion. So we know that our opinions are unpopular. Well, with that, you know, I just want to thank Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid, and if you haven't checked out their channel, you know, I advise you to do so. These guys are awesome game creators. They do some live streams. They specialize in couch co-op games where you guys sit down with a buddy, and they also do beer reviews too when they're playing these games. And you know, beer and video games, guys, what's missing? Pizza, maybe. But I think that these guys have got it going on their channel. They will not disappoint. Make sure that you visit their channel and subscribe, you know, comment, and do all of that stuff. And if you have an unpopular gaming opinion, let me know. I would love to have you on My Unpopular Gaming Opinion. Send me an email to bigretroshow@gmail.com and we'll get something going. And with that, I will see you on the next Big Retro Show.